I like a chase because I always got my running shoes on. So, yeah, I do like a chase.
Listen, burn that in your brain. Absolutely. Ingrain it. She only makes guys she doesn't like wait. If you boys have a date this weekend and she makes you wait, you ain't the one. For all the homies going on dates and you're closing the deal same night, you were that guy. And that is all you need to know.
What up, guys? Welcome to the Wait, welcome to It's Complicated. Today I have overtaken the channel and we are in Las Vegas and we are going to be asking people different questions about relationships. So buckle up, guys, and like the video on your way in, leave a comment, and let's get started.
Do you know more people who enjoy dating or who complain about dating?
I feel like most people complain about dating
Why do you think that is?
because they're not happy in their relationships.
Now, if there was one thing that you wish that men understood better about women, what would it be?
How to be more catering because I'm tired of giving.
What do you mean? You said catering?
Yes, because I give more than I receive.
So would you say that reciprocity is key in relationships?
Yes.
Now, do you feel like, who do you think typically invests more into building a relationship, the man or the woman?
The woman, of course.
Well, like what exactly does a woman do to kind of build a relationship as opposed to what a man does?
Well, I feel like we're more supportive, first off, and we're going to do more because we want to see you succeed more. And I feel like most men aren't doing that.
I mean, I grew up with this all the time. It's about like the guy doesn't treat me well. He's not nice enough. He's not holding the door for me. And I've also been that guy who's done all of that. And you are
treated like shit and they don't respect you. And then you get cheated on. And then she tells you you're boring. And then she tells you she's looking for a guy that's more of a man, more exciting, tells her what to do. All this stuff. Bro, we've heard the story 1,000 times. The moment you put your woman on a pedestal and treat her like an equal in the relationship and start doing the things they tell you they want you to do is the moment you lose attraction in her eyes. You have to be better. She has to be chasing you. She has to want to do things for you constantly. Once that dynamic changes, your relationship is on the way out. So no matter how, look, within reason, of course, treat your woman well, within reason. But don't become a doormat. Don't cave to all the demands. It's just a test, man. She wants to see what kind of man you are. Are you weak? Are you strong? Will you bend? Will you cave to every desire I have? And if you do cave to every desire I have, every other woman can make you break also. That's unattractive. That gives her anxiety. If she can control you so easily and get you to do every single thing she wants you to do, you're finished in her eyes. That's not a high value man. That's what like a beta Bob does. He has no spine. He gets walked all over, no respect, and she's going to start eyeing other men. She becomes a flight risk, dude. That's your anxiety. That's her becoming anxious. You're essentially putting her on a rocket ship of like insane anxiety and having her worry about her relationship because you can't stand your ground against her. What shot do you have to do it out in public when another woman may eye you and make a move on you? She needs to know that she can't break you because that means another female can't either.
overlooked, overshadowed easily by the guy who treats you like shit and is an absolute douchebag. So,
yeah.
Well, see, when I think of like traditional, it's like the guy picking you up, taking you out to dinner, holding the doors, paying for the date, and waiting for sex.
I mean, yeah, I think that all though that lies on the woman though. Like that's the power the woman has.
And they'll put this ideal up on a pedestal of what a man should.
Yeah, by the way, what that guy said at the very before this one, that's on the woman, it kind of is. That used to be a power women had where they could bring out the best in their man. See, what women do today is demand he does things. Yeah, hit the like button. They demand. Oh, hold on. My dog's trying to get in here. They demand you do things for them. They tell you what they want. Instead of doing it in a feminine way, they essentially bully you into doing it. And if you don't love them. And even when you try to supplicate here and there, it's, I'm a strong, independent woman. I don't need no man. Don't do any of this shit for me anyway. It's like a lose-lose. Doesn't matter what you do.
Should be and what they want, and then what they actually go seek out is the entire opposite. And as someone who, there's a lot of men out there who just have a good heart and just want to be heard and really appreciated for that. And a lot of times you don't feel like you can show that, because once you show that compassion, once you show your true colors, it's looked at as a weakness.
You know, I feel men have to be the providers. Men have to basically give up their entire lives to please a woman. When men, we're only worth what we can provide. Women are worth just for their looks or for basic things, but we need to provide everything in a relationship or in any aspect of life.
And even if you're able to, attract a woman, are you able to keep her happy, keep her satisfied?
Unless you can meet her list, no.
So you think that women are really more interested in the situation than they are in the actual man?
Yeah, I do.
Now, why do women divorce men 70 to 80% of the time, 90% if they're college educated?
I don't know. I just heard that one too.
Because 90% of couples should be getting together anyways. The truth of dating and relationships today is that most people come together out of convenience, not out of actual intimacy and connection. It's just, hey, this is what's left after college. Guess I'll pick this guy and settle down with him. And the guy is probably some dude who literally has barely any experience with women, and he thinks he's the luckiest guy in the world after getting his college babe who's been run through for the last 3-4 years. Ta-da! 90% fail rate in relationships.
Women have more unconditional love. Doesn't it seem like then men would?
Well, from what I've seen that, and it usually I've seen that most of the divorces are instigated by women. They said that men are, I don't really know the answer to that. I know on the other side, men are just more willing to stick something out and just work at it, even though they're unhappy.
And if a man typically has to have looks, money, and status in order to attract lots of beautiful women, how is the man not considered the prize?
Because a man loves a woman.
Doesn't a woman love a man?
A woman does love a man, but a woman loves money more.
So do you think women are more interested in love or power?
Hey, did you see? Did you see his girl's face? Was that his girl when he said that? Look.
A man loves a woman.
Doesn't a woman love a man?
A woman does love a man, but a woman loves money more.
So do you think women are more interested in love or power?
Power.
What the hell
Power
are you talking about?
of the punani.
Yeah,
He's in trouble
What exactly
tonight,
does that
boys.
mean?
the power it's the power that a woman has naturally, like her superpower. Basically, that's what grabs a man. That's what makes a man want you to begin with. He doesn't even know you. It's just you're a woman.
And what's the difference between using power and abusing power?
Using it is basically just utilizing it for its purpose. Abusing it is using it for your advantage, but it's going to be at a
What,
disadvantage for that other person.
So when it comes to the power of the punani, do you think that women are more likely to use or abuse that power?
In general,
It's always abuse. They don't use it. They abuse it to the amount you allow them as a man. If you're a nice guy and you allow your time, your resources, everything that makes you valuable, you give it away for free because you may one day get laid by this girl. You hope that you're a good little bestie to her and let her cry on your shoulder from all the chads she's getting pumped and dumped by. Maybe one day you'll get the scraps. That's her abusing it with you because you let her. All of them do this, man. There's no morality here, good or bad. It's simply extracting the max value out of somebody that you can in the dating world because they allow you to. They're simps. You can't feel bad for a guy that willingly plays the nice guy role with a long game. Hopefully he gets laid one day, 10 years later after she's done on the carousel. And oh my God, I just never saw you like that. But 10 years later, I just see you as more than a friend. We should totally get married. And he probably has a good job now, 10 years in. He's been busting his ass. And he gets the scraps. And he's the luckiest man in the world. No, bro. It is always abuse. And you, as a man, have to put your foot down and not allow them to do that to you.
they probably abuse it
So why isn't that given more attention?
Because men are not really going to complain about it. It's you just chalk it up. That's just part of the game. Like, you get played sometimes.
What are your thoughts on the expression, women don't care about a man's struggles, they just want to show up at the finish line and pick the winners?
I honestly, you said women don't care about a man's struggles?
Basically, modern women today don't care about a man's struggles. They just want to show up at the finish line and pick the winners.
I think that that's true because someone like me, I'm going to be there for you and support you. But these new age girls, I don't know about them. They are just ridiculous, and I feel like they're only in it to get what they can get out of it.
So why do you think there's the expression, where have all the good men gone, but nobody's asking where have all the good women gone?
Well, where have all the good men gone? All the good men gone? They're stupid because they're dating these younger women and they're getting used. Bruh. So the reason why there's so many good women out here is because we're being looked over.
Did you see that? She was with a message, boys, until it came to her own personal experience. It's never me. All the good men out here are stupid. All these young women are evil, and they're absolutely using all these, quote, good men, but they're too stupid to pick me because I'm special.
Oh my God!
Solipsism.
I think that when they say that, like, the answer to where have all the good men gone
We
is
got to
in
put
your
the song
20s.
on for them.
Like where it's like an expression where women would look over the good men in their 20s and like pick the bad boys, and then in their 30s they're like, oh, well, take me now. But it's like they're kind of salty because we overlooked them in our 20s.
So yeah, we do overlook them in our 20s, and I can say we overlook them in our 30s because I've been stuck with some bad men in the 30s, and technically I feel like now it's kind of like there are really no good men. I haven't found a good guy, so we do overlook it.
Now,
Come on, man. And this is where the bitterness comes out. She even admitted she overlooked them when she was young. Guess what happened now when you're past 30, struggling to find a, quote, good man? Why? Because all the good men evaporated in your 20s when you decided to ignore them. And now all that's left is less than. Men that don't do much, probably don't have jobs, probably got records, probably are exactly the kinds of men that she's trying to avoid. Those are the only ones that are giving her time of day right now. Why? Because she's past her prime. It is what it is. She admitted to overlooking all the good guys when she was in her prime 20s. But now you're making similar demands in your 30s. The price has gone down. You got to readjust.
has there ever been a man you wanted that you weren't able to get?
Nope.
Well, I'd like to talk about Bruno Mars. I do want him, and if he met me, he'd want me too.
Now, if you had the opportunity to hook up with Bruno Mars, would you take it?
I
Yes.
sure would.
So when a woman says that I'm not the type of girl, isn't she really saying I'm not the type of girl with you, but I am that type of girl with a guy like Bruno Mars?
No, because I'm going to be myself with him regardless of who he is. So if he's going to like me for who I am, then he's going to see that I'm a good woman regardless of anything.
Do you think it's true that
Bruno Mars, a famous person, is going to see you after one night hooking up that you're a good woman. Come on, man. What are we doing? The delusion is next level. She gets like some points correct, but the rest of it, horrendous.
that women will make rules for the wrong guy but break rules for the right guy?
I do believe that.
I think so too.
Well, I mean, sometimes we like the bad boys, so we tend to break the rules for them.
Do you think that women tend to lust after bad boys but want to settle down with nice guys?
Oh, we sure do. I love a bad boy.
What's attractive about a bad boy?
They just have that quality that just is so attractive. You know?
How do bad boys treat women?
Horrible.
So then why would you want to be with a bad boy when they treat you badly?
Because they do other things that the good ones don't.
Like what?
I don't want to go there.
We know. We know.
They do.
Would you say that bad boys, do you look at them as more of protectors?
They are protectors. I do feel like, I found more security in the bad ones, but I also feel like I got used by more of the bad ones than I did being protected. So,
Speaking of being a protector, if women expect men to pay for sex, why don't men expect...
And look, here's the interesting part of this, man. So take her, for example. This is the so-called I'm a good woman. I'm in my 30s. I know what I want. But I come with all this baggage in a relationship. I have to keep my guard up. All the bad boys, they made me feel secure, but they all pumped and dumped me. They all used me. So now she's jaded. And there is supposed to be some guy in his prime, waiting for her to come in his knight in shining armor and save her, save the fucking day, save her from her own mistakes, right? He's got to take on that debt. How about no? But again, it's the delusion that they can't see that the common variable here is them. In a lot of these relationships going south, if you had one bad boyfriend, two bad boyfriends, sure. But now if you've made it essentially 10, 12, every single guy, all men are, if you start talking like that, you're the problem.
Expect women to pay for bodyguards.
Because they're stupid.
Why do women often describe men as stupid, but then expect love from them in return?
Why do we describe them as stupid? Because we've been through a lot of stuff. So, because
But isn't it fair to say a lot of men have been through a lot of stuff as well?
they have, but I feel like, sometimes you get a good woman and you treat her like shit, and then you expect us to not call you stupid when you do us dirty, and then we're standing there looking stupid, but yet you are the stupid ones, because guess what? They always come back. And I can say that for prime example, every one of them have come back.
Do you think don't you think that's just like batting out of your league though? Like you get shit treatment because you're shooting too high?
I don't think I'm shooting too high.
I don't know you, but just like in general, like if you're if you're shooting too high, like they don't treat you right. You know what I mean? Because that's a guy that's got a lot of options.
And are we talking about the bad boys?
Yeah, like usually bad boys have a lot of options.
They may have a lot of options, but they don't have a lot of good ones. And I'm a good one, so therefore, I'm going to always...
I'm a special snowflake. Bruh. There's no other woman like me. Why don't they choose me? Bruh. She can't see it. It's blind. It's the blind leading the blind out here. And these will be the kinds of women that give their besties advice on their relationships and how they should treat men. It's straight delusion.
Aim high, because guess what? The quality is always going to be there. So, I mean, if you lose out, then you're the one who's stupid.
But wouldn't you say if you're a good one, like someone would have picked you?
I can say if I was a good one, they would have picked me, but still, we always get overlooked because sometimes being good doesn't always mean that they want a good girl. They want somebody that's a bad girl. And when you're too good to someone, then they feel like, that's not what they want.
You feel like they like take advantage?
They do take advantage.
Nowadays, is the woman expects that you're going to fill these roles, and if you're not, she's kind of going to overtake those roles, and the men get belittled. They feel lower self-esteem. They're not as high valued as they want to be, and it's kind of a juggling act. So,
a man has two women. He lies to one. He tells the truth to the other. Which one does he love?
That's a tough one. Usually it's the one he's lying to.
Why is that?
Because he doesn't want to hurt her feelings, and it's harder to be just bluntly honest with a woman because you never know what her reaction is going to be. So
what?
If you're being bluntly honest with her, then you either respect her 100% or you don't really care how she's going to feel.
It's either you respect yourself or you don't. Hold your ground. Have your boundaries solid. Let her know. A famous question that women do that men fail all the time is, do I look fat in this dress? Most men do not have the balls required to be completely honest and say you put on a few pounds and you're scared to live in a doghouse with your already dead bedroom, bro. You mean your bedroom's gonna die a little more than it already is? You're just gonna beat a dead body. Oh my God, I fear that I will never get sex again. I already don't get sex maybe once a month. Come on, dude. This is how men get into these lopsided relationships with women where they're unhappy, where the soul is leaving their eyes, where they have to, I gotta ask my wife if I could go out with the boys. Honey, does this dress make me look fat? Honey, do you think blah, blah? Constantly lying, constantly being a yes man, being a doormat. She loses attraction. She doesn't want to have sex with you at all. And it's only splitting you apart more and more. Instead, if you were just honest and say, yeah, honey, you put on a few pounds. I don't really like the way you look in that dress anymore. Go take care of it at the gym. She will be absolutely appalled. Yes. She'll look at you like, how dare you say that? Oh my God, you're my husband. And then the insecurity sets in, and it's a positive insecurity. Lose some weight, get healthier for the kids, for our relationship, etc. And she will go back to losing some weight. Okay? Take the heat. You get more respect for it. She'll respect you. And in turn, will actually be more attracted to you and probably try to have sex with you now because, oh my God, he thinks I'm ugly. Let me show him instead of being a little beta Bob and supplicating all the damn time, dude. You're literally driving a wedge between your relationship by being a dishonest man.
Do you think women often want what they can't have?
Yes.
Always.
So then wouldn't you say that chasing women is terrible advice for men?
Chasing women is terrible.
Because if he chases you, then he's basically telling you can have me. And he's
Oh, I like a chase because I always got my running shoes on. So, yeah, I do like a chase.
Listen, burn that in your brain. Absolutely. Ingrain it. She only makes guys she doesn't like wait. If you boys have a date this weekend and she makes you wait, you ain't the one. For all the homies going on dates and you're closing the deal same night, you were that guy. And that is all you need to know. Shit, I didn't close. Maybe if I try harder. No. You're done. Next. Because if you were that guy, you would have got her that night. Now, this is something completely different. Of course, if you have a quality woman, that is a good prospect for relationships and marriage. Now you got to play a more traditional courting style. But for women like this, quote, modern women, I've been jaded. I'm 30 years old. I don't make Bruno Mars wait, but I'm going to make you wait kind of shit. No. No, sirree. Bruh. Next.
And like, it might be 15 minutes in. Might be 15 minutes in with Bruno now.
How long would he really have to talk to you?
Bruno?
Yeah, like if he said, I want
15
sex,
minutes.
like, would you?
If Bruno started singing Versace on the floor, everything would happen. I'd be butt naked before he got to the first verse. He wouldn't even have the first V out.
And you see, it's a joke. She's clowning around, but it's true also. There's truth behind that laughter. Yes. Bruno Mars could get her clothes off in seconds.
Can I tell you an interesting stat that I think most women don't know? You know, 1 in 3 men under 30 are either virgins or haven't had sex in the past year.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So a lot of times, like, we'll complain about guys cheating, but we pick the cheaters because there's a lot of guys that won't cheat on you. We just don't like them.
I honestly did not know that, and that's a good fact to know.
Would you believe it? Like, does that make sense with what you've seen?
I believe it, but I still end up with a cheater.
Because I think we like guys that cheat.
Who's not having sex is somewhere where I don't see, because I'm going with the bad boys. So, yeah.
There it is, boys. But remember, it's not her fault earlier. It was not her fault. It's just men are shit. It's not her picking the shitty men, which she just admitted to. It's like Clown World. This is where we're walking into this shit. It's worse than the NPC music at the moment. Christ.
So would you say that a lot of women are more attracted to like toxic men?
Yes.
Yeah, I think they are.
So why do women complain about, toxic masculinity when a lot of women are enabling that behavior by choosing to date bad boys and toxic men?
I think it stems from our childhood. Sometimes we have somebody in our life that is a toxic person because we've seen it happen to someone else in our family. So then we kind of follow in the footstep of that.
How do you
She nailed it. Yeah. Childhood trauma is very popular in people today.
know when the honeymoon stage of a relationship is over?
When sex dries up.
Some of the weird shit starts to matter. Like,
That's the truest thing I've ever heard. But to the girl, right?
yeah, definitely. Usually it matters a lot.
You start like,
Yeah.
the girl starts saying what's annoying her.
Yeah. It's like, okay, so for instance, you might see your girl in the kitchen, you walk by, you slap her butt, all right? So in the first couple of months, that's fine. It's like, ooh, babe, that's whatever. And then you do it again for like another 2 months. So that's like 5 months in. And then like another 2 months in, she's like, can you stop doing that? So, that's just one of the...
Has that happened to you?
Yeah. Yeah, it has. But hey, it's all good, At least you learn from it, so it's good.